All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the market speculator with bullsonwallstreet.com. Today we're going to talk about 5 different stocks that are on our watch list. Some of them we've already traded. Some of them we're looking to trade, and some of them we just have on this watch list for the future. We don't know what the future holds right now, but these are stocks that are in play at the top of our watch list, really focused on these stocks here. Now, in the blog post, we talked about the bear market course and how we studied 6 of the biggest past bear markets, and we found some patterns and some themes emerging. Those bear markets were the Spanish flu of 1918. In terms of news event, very similar to what's going on right now. As we can see, the past always seems to repeat itself. The Great Depression, 1929 to 33, and that one, while the news event is different, some of the stuff that's happening in terms of the economy is exactly the same. We talked about the energy crisis of the early 70s, and that is very similar in terms of some of the energy stuff we're dealing with now. We talked about the bear market of 1987. That was a really fast crash that maybe we come out of this very quickly and we do something similar to 1987. The dot-com bubble of 2000 and the financial crisis 2007. Now, all of these things played out differently, and that's why we're planning for these different futures, because we don't know which one we're going to follow, and we'll probably follow one of these. Because each one of these basically has a key characteristic of every bear market. But we did find some similarities, and that's why we've built this list. We've got a list of what we found has emerged out of every bear market. That's number one. There's some beaten down stocks that will really bounce strong. Relative strength areas will do very well. Each one of these bear markets, a new economic force comes out of it, or some type of new economy comes out of it. So we have a stock related to that. In every bear market, whatever technology is in play at that time does really well. And then also financials related to that new economy do very well as well. So that's what we're going to look at today. Let's start with our first stock here. That is Lululemon. I always say that. Lululemon Athletics. My wife always gets me for that one. But as we can see here, this was a beaten down stock where the market went down about 35%. This guy went down over 50%. Actually, 260 down to 130. So over a 50% loss here, but has bounced back strong. So this was a beaten down that is bouncing back. We really like this one because they are putting some stuff into play that could do well in the future. So I'm watching this very closely. As you can see the chart here, really strong, something definitely to have on your watch list. Now, we're not saying these are tradable right now, but definitely something you should have on your watch list. And actually this stock, I think, could be traded right now. So that's the beaten down stock we're watching. Relative strength. There's a number of relative strength stocks we can watch. Now, some of these overlap with each other, like Netflix's relative strength. It could also fit under new economy. But Netflix here, relative strength, you would never even know that the market was tanking here if you looked at this chart. It did pull back with the market, but it looks like a garden variety kind of deep pullback after a big run and did not hit some of the numbers that the market itself did. You can see the comparison with Lulu, and now is at already all-time highs. So think about that. In this bear market that we're in right now, Netflix is at all-time highs. So definitely a relative strength stock that we should be paying attention to. I don't think we can enter it here, but we will look for setups. Definitely a break of the high or a pullback here would do very well. Now, new economy, let's go over to TDOC. Now, I know a lot of people have been focused on Zoom. That's the work from home video conferencing app. And TDOC is very similar to that, except it's in the healthcare space. So coming out of what we've dealt with the quarantine, we've noticed that all of us here in society have noticed that we don't really need to go to the doctor if we have some of these technologies. And TDOC has been used for that. So basically for home visits to the doctor. And you can video conference with the doctor here. Really in play for a potential new economy type move. Maybe we don't go to the doctor as much once we're out of quarantine because we've seen we don't really need to go there. So TDOC in play for that. I'm watching for a break of this 9 EMA here, and I think that would set us up for another big run, but definitely something to be watching not only now, but maybe a year, two years from now, as we see a potential new economy emerging in healthcare. So TDOC is the potential play there. In technology, we're watching NVIDIA. It's always a leader in semiconductors. Has also been showing relative strength. So this could fit the relative strength area with which technology stocks often will in bear markets. And we can see here already nearing its all-time high here. I would watch for any pullback plays or any breakout plays of the high here. And then finally, we've got the new economy financial, and that is PayPal. So PayPal, we think of financials, we think of Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, but look at PayPal here. None of those guys are at all-time highs, and PayPal is. We can see here it just broke its all-time high. So again, this also fits in relative strength, as do NVIDIA and Netflix. But here we've seen during the quarantine, people aren't going out to the bank, people aren't shopping, they're shopping online, they're having to use PayPal, and obviously there are a lot of early adopters and kind of middle adopters who have been using PayPal for a while, but it's forced people who had never signed up for it to sign up for it because they need it to, say, use eBay or whatever else they've been using while they've been on quarantine. Now, this also this also fits in with the new economy. So we've got financials and new economy here, in the sense that now people may have seen in quarantine, I don't need to go out and shop as much. I'm going to shop from home more, and PayPal will be in play because of that. So you can see all these shifts in the market that have happened from this bear market. So these are 5 stocks we're watching. There's a ton more, but all of this came out of the bear market course. So check that out if you haven't already. There'll be a link up in the post.